All right, mother fluffers. We're back today, okay? We're gonna try to have a real stream today. Not one that abruptly cuts off, okay? We're gonna have a real stream. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're all doing well. I'm doing a lot better today than I was yesterday, in fairness. But I'm probably gonna be seething a little bit, and I'm probably gonna be seething at some people in chat that actually might unironically, not agree with some upcoming takes of mine on this stream. So yeah, just prepare yourselves, lefties. Okay. What's up, Hunter? Nothing much, man. What's up? How you doing? Now, guys, a couple things real quick. If you want to help support the channel, put something in the super chat. Have your message read and responded to live. If you want to have your message read and you're watching on Twitch, send something to my PayPal. You can include a message that way. Lastly, if you haven't already, you should consider becoming a patron. We're going to be doing movie nights really soon. Every week, we're going to be picking movies and then watching them together, all of us, like one big, happy family. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that beautiful? Hunter, did you go off to kiss your wife's boyfriend? Nah, but seriously, how are you, man? For a minute, I was like, oh, great, not one of these comments again. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'm doing fine. You've had us in suspense for 24 hours, and I demand release? How did I... Suspense about what? Sanja Boy Dead, thanks for the $5. I possibly got COVID. Pray for me. Oh, shit. Well, if God was real, I would pray for you, but you're in my thoughts and prayers, buddy. How is your wife's boyfriend? He's doing good, actually. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Vosh is doing good. So, I mean, oh, shit. No. That's what my haters literally think. All right, let's make you a little smaller, chat. There we go. That looks nice, huh? Oh, man. I got so much shit to talk about. Hunter, what do you think about the Delta variant? I think that I'm the Alpha variant, bitch. How do you like them apples? Okay, well, let me get my Discord open here. Because someone should be joining rather soon to debate me on something, but we should first probably cover it, okay? Hunter, do you touch women when you greet them like Cuomo? Hey, you know what? I said on Twitter that not all of us Italians are perverts, okay? Hunter, have you ever considered that war is bad? Yes, I've considered it, believe it or not. Where's the link to the Discord? Should be in my description. If you're on Twitch, you might have to go to YouTube. All right. Okay. Bernard K, thanks for the 5. Joke's on you, Sanja boy. I did get COVID and was fully vaccinated. Oh, fuck. That would suck. Is it that coward Johnny finally got enough balls to be? I don't even know who the fuck that is. I'd actually watch Hunter Reviews blank, just like a basic rundown of a movie. What works and what doesn't. Hunter, have you considered that murder is bad? Believe it or not, that's partially the hot take that we're going to be going over today. Apparently, a lot of people don't agree with my take that murder is bad. Win Mage. I did not think the link was going to be that large. Well, there you go. All right. Yeah, guys. Appreciate the donations thus far. Keep them coming. We will be pausing at the in between segments, and I will be reading and responding to every single super chat. It's what helps keep the channel up and running. So yeah, I'd very much appreciate it. Okay. Oh man. Freeform Jazz, thanks for the 2. We should have a watch party of The Happening. I mean, I already reviewed that one, but maybe. I guess it could be funny. Okay, oh man. Oh man, I don't know if about this, dude. This is gonna, I'm gonna have to like keep myself from seething here. Thanks, Double Sauce, for the $5. Say Kid Amgus backwards. Sug my dick. Ah, funny, dude. Good one. Great one. Hey, at least it didn't result in me saying the N-word. Let's see. All right. Oh shit. I don't. Okay, where do I even begin with this? Hunter just watched your video with Aristocracy. It was very informative. Keep going. Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, that was on my second channel too. So we must have a super fan over here. All right. Double Sauce, you gonna start a donation war again? That's fine with me. Okay. Another $5 from Double Sauce. Got him, bruh. Got him. You know what? You got me, all right? Because you donated, you got me. Congratulations. Okay. Today, I greet all of you with my heart on my sleeve. I am seething. I am raging. I am molding. I'm triggered. Whatever the fuck you want to, however you want to put it, that is how I am. Seriously though, I got myself in a little bit of controversy on Twitter. That's how you know this is off to a really great start. Excuse me. As we all know, all degeneracy begins with I logged on to Twitter. That's how it always begins. But today, I logged on to Twitter and saw a tweet that, it made me mad. It really did make me mad. So let's go ahead and pull up the tweet in question. Let's take a little look-see. Meet the revolutionary technology that could help solve the climate crisis. And it's a picture of a guillotine. Now keep in mind that this person is actually a writer for Teen Vogue. So that's a little concerning, I guess. But what's more concerning, and the reason this makes me so fucking mad, is because, to me, I see a lot of parallels here between this and the far right. The advocating for violence, but then hiding behind the memes thing. It's really cringy. So I responded and said, I love it when the left advocates for violence while hiding behind the memes. Sounds really familiar. And holy shit, the comments, not so much on my Twitter, but on my Instagram. I literally had to like get down and do this whole thing, the whole like, I had to like try to get some inner zen going because it's so ridiculous. So let's keep going through this here. All right, we're going to go through. It's just a joke, my dude. Right, the typical shtick. It's just a joke while simultaneously advocating for violence. I don't care if it's a meme. Even if it is actually, even if this person means it to be just a joke, bruh, it is unironically reinforcing violent ideas. And ideas that not only are violent, but completely unnecessary, right? Like, what does this really mean? What does this really mean to use a guillotine to solve the climate crisis? My guess, what they're getting at here is killing billionaires, killing the rich. But this doesn't make any fucking sense. How would you go about doing that? You're gonna go like decapitate Bezos? And then what? Amazon isn't gonna just cease to exist. That's not how this is gonna happen. Someone else is gonna take over the company. And then whoever carried out the decapitation is probably gonna go to prison. So how are you actually solving the climate crisis with a guillotine? Oh, that's right. You're not. It's called LARPing. And it's what a lot of lefties do on Twitter. It's really unfortunate. And I think that there are a lot of lefties that follow me that are great people. But when it comes to this kind of bullshit, it's really quite disgusting. And then what makes it even more disgusting is how many fucking idiots are in my comment section defending this crap. Violence against people destroying the planet and its people is good, actually. So a lot of people are already taking me out of context saying, oh, so what? Is Hunter now saying that violence is never okay? Well, our country was founded on violence. Lol, got him. Okay, yes. I never said all violence was bad. There are absolutely times where political violence could be justified. If you don't have a peaceful alternative and your life is in danger, then violence might very well be warranted. But before you say, well, all of our lives are in danger because of climate change, you need to ask yourself, how is killing any of these billionaires going to fix climate change? How? What's it going to do? It's not going to do shit. So violence against people destroying the planet and its people is good, actually. Like, again, it totally means, it depends on, like, what you mean. Usually, the people that are, quote-unquote, destroying the planet are, it's like a side effect of them trying to meet the demand of consumers, right? So, gotta love horseshoe theory. True. For those of you who don't know, horseshoe theory is the idea that, like, the far left and the far right are, like, kind of the same at the end of the day. You're right. We need to ask the rich nicely and they'll listen. Huge straw man. Never said we have to just go ask them. We can implement different policies. We can implement tax policies. I'm a big proponent of a carbon tax. There are studies that we're going to look at soon that show that carbon tax is extremely effective in reducing carbon emissions. So there's a real solution outside of LARPing about a fucking revolution. Guy who thinks climate change is not violence? No one person is simultaneously doing climate change. It's more or less a joint effort. It's a broken system where there is demand for certain products, and in creating those products, we are seeing carbon emissions rise. These billionaires are not like out here like just polluting the world for fun or whatever. And hey, I have plenty of problems with billionaires, okay? We can talk about that. But like they're meeting the demand of us consumers. Let's see. I'm pretty sure being bigoted against some of the most privileged people on earth, billionaires, and being bigoted against black people are not the same thing. You're right. Never said it was the same thing. What is very similar, though, is using violence or suggesting violence and then hiding behind the memes when you get called out for it. That's what's similar. I never said it was identical. Literally everyone advocates for violence in some fashion. This is a major miss. I didn't say all violence was bad. Oh, God, dude. Let's see. Do we have any more? With the globe slowly burning and the 1% making climate bunkers, investing in space travel, space stations, terraforming Mars, etc., the wealthy in this country are fully ready to evade the consequences of their actions. What reason do they have to ever stop other than goodwill? Tax policy. So let's go ahead and actually look at a real solution now, outside of this LARPing bullshit that would do nothing to fix anything. So here's a study that was conducted in 2018 that shows that carbon taxes could make a significant dent in climate change. And this study put together multiple models and basically compared the results of certain policy. And they found that if we implemented a carbon tax of $50 per ton of carbon emissions produced, then we could see carbon emissions decline by nearly 70% by 2050. That is a massive decrease in carbon emissions. Canada already has implemented a carbon tax. So currently with the Paris Agreement, I think it's like $25 per ton of carbon emissions. We need to raise that. That tax should be higher. But here you go, okay? Advocating for raising a carbon tax is a hell of a lot more effective. And now we have empirical evidence here that it can actually contribute to reducing climate change. This is a hell of a lot more effective than LARPing on Twitter about some bullshit revolution. And it makes me really mad because I didn't walk away from the right wing to be greeted by a bunch of lefties doing the same type of bullshit. So, oh wait, I'm in incognito. Let me pull up my Instagram too, because the comments over there were horrendous. Let's see here. So for those of you who don't know, when they are talking about the guillotine, that's a reference to the French Revolution, where they began killing the aristocrats. And from there on, they began killing more and more people. And it's my understanding that they even began killing peasants, people that just simply didn't agree with their revolutionary attitude. And during the French Revolution, we saw over 17,000 people massacred. They were killing people on the basis of their class, and that is what this meme is hinting at. Why are you in incognito? It's for my Twitter, okay? Hold on. So I made the same post on my Instagram. Hold on. Oh, come on, man. Twitter is the worst. It's just where all the LARPers go, I think. Hold on. I should have done this ahead of time, but I didn't because I'm a loser. Looks like we got a PayPal donation too. Maze, thanks for the $5. I'm not a pervert. I'm just Asian. Good to know, man. And same times for Hunter. Hunter, I don't really believe you're an Italian American. When was the last time you had some spaghetti and meatballs? Well, I did just have spaghetti and meatballs not too long ago, though the meatballs were vegan. Because I'm a real OG. Okay, that's why. So yeah, my Instagram post, the comments were even fucking worse. I made the same, I just like posted the Twitter thing. And let's see. I forgot you're not in your communist arc yet. Nor will I ever be, because that shit's delusional. Yeah, let's just vote out Jeff Bezos and BP. No one said it's all about voting, my dude. But here's the thing is, if you want to actually address climate change, we need to reach out to the moderates. And by advocating for killing people, you're not reaching any moderates. Now, with Joe Biden's recent bipartisan infrastructure bill passing the Senate, it is obvious now that we can come together and we can pass some real, meaningful policy to combat climate change. This is what happened already with this infrastructure bill. Now, granted, it didn't go as far as we might like to see. There is another bill that the Democrats are presenting that should go further. However, the fact that we were able to pass a bipartisan legislation that addresses climate change, Mitch McConnell, for fuck's sake, voted yes on this thing. The fact that we're able to pass that through the Senate shows that there are much more effective ways that we can combat climate change that doesn't involve LARPing about guillotining the rich. Yeah, the fact that 100 companies unapologetically cause 71% of emissions can definitely be solved peacefully. First of all, why do you think they're causing such high emissions? Is it for fun, or is it because there's a demand for those products? We're all partially involved there. Second of all, yeah, it can be solved peacefully. Thankfully here we have empirical evidence that now shows policy can make a real dent in climate change. So there's a huge difference between punching down on marginalized people and joking about overthrowing our billionaire overlords. Again, I never said they were identical. It's just advocating for violence and hiding behind the memes. Hunter, killing oppressors isn't violence. It's liberation and self-defense. Can you tell me how, like, these rich CEOs are oppressing you currently to the point that it would warrant a violent response? Give me a fucking break. We're going to have someone come on here soon and talk to me about this. Who wanted to talk? Adam? Hold on, I can't hear you if you're talking.
Ooga booga nigger. Ooga booga nigger.
Hello?
Nigger.
Alright, that's great. I see. Alright, we'll go ahead and block you. And then all these other people are going to get blocked too. Wait, how is he still talking? Let's connect you. Okay. Ban. Ban. Okay. Anyway. So what I'm more interested in is, like, understanding what the logical extrapolation of this is. Right? Like, how is unironically killing the rich going to solve these problems? He said the N-word. I know he said the N-word. That's why he was banned. Okay? I know, yeah, everyone is so annoying. For Lotto, thanks for the $5. It's not actually about climate change or even capitalism. It's just using politics to let our frustration about personal issues. It's just using politics to let out frustration about personal issues. Oh, yeah, I mean, that's completely possible. That's absolutely true. I think there are a lot of people that think that they're doing shit and, like, think that they're helping or advocating for some kind of a good cause. I mean, look at these comments. People unironically think that they're advocating for liberation or some shit, when in reality, you're doing nothing but LARPing. Hold on. So, for example, support for the bipartisan infrastructure framework. We can look here. Oops. We can look here at the various ways that this bipartisan bill is now is passing the Senate that addresses a lot of climate change issues. We're going to repair and rebuild our roads and bridges with a focus on climate change mitigation, resilience, equity, and safety for all users. Build a national network of electric vehicles, chargers along highways and in rural and disadvantaged communities. Electrify thousands of school and transit buses across the country to reduce harmful emissions and drive domestic manufacturing of zero-emission vehicles and components. Nadine Marcus, thanks for the $5. Many rich people are guilty of tax evasion, bribery, money laundering, insider trading, etc., etc. Don't you think we should at least investigate them? Of course. Yeah. People that are, like, acting as if I'm, like, bootlicking billionaires here, it's not the case. I'm not fond of billionaires. A lot of them do engage in really immoral and unethical behavior. And yeah, that absolutely should be addressed. But we don't address it by LARPing about fucking guillotining people. All right? You're not a peasant living under a monarch. This isn't the French Revolution. You're a Twitter user who has a sad life. And you're advocating for bullshit when you advocate for this guillotine shit. It makes me really mad. It really does. Prepare more of our infrastructure for the impacts of climate change, cyber attacks, and extreme weather events. So this is just a few of the ways that this bipartisan bill is going to be addressing climate change. Here you go. This passed the Senate. Bipartisan support, man. We can come to solutions. And in order to reach those solutions, you have to reach the moderates. You need to. All right, wait. Someone... Hello. Spitting image. Hello. Are you here to disagree with my take? Yeah, my take is that, like, advocating for guillotining billionaires is bullshit.
Okay, I agree with that. I'm just curious as to like, you said that your problem is with the meme, right?
I mean, it's the way in which they're doing the meme, yeah.
Do you think that that's like equivalent to the way that others have advocated for violence?
Sure. Yeah, there are plenty of like really cringy groiper memes where they're like, the Jews guys, lol, 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 just a meme though. Like, yeah, that happens all the time.
Yeah, right. I'm just curious because you seem to come from like two different parts right here, which is that it's LARPing and it's cringy, which would indicate that it has no real like consequential effects.
No, it's
But also
LARPing.
that
Okay, let me explain. The people posting it are LARPing because they're not going to do shit, but it still
Right.
reinforces violent attitudes.
you think that it does that?
Absolutely. This tweet has over 34,000 likes. Do you think that like not a single person who liked that tweet doesn't unironically think that we should start killing the rich or landlords? I have people in my comment section I'm arguing with about this. Oh. Did he accidentally hang up? Okay. All right, well, the person is going to be joining soon in about 5 minutes. Nadine Marcus. Oh, wait. I already read those. Thank you guys for the super chats thus far. Let me check my, make sure I'm not missing any PayPal donations here. Nope. We used to tax the rich at 90%. Now it's like 20%. No, stop. That's bullshit. The tax rate was raised at 90%, but they did not pay a 90% tax. There was like a fuck ton of tax evasion and everything then also. No, don't let anybody trick you into believing that rich people were ever paying 90% in taxes. That's not true. That's like a Kyle Kolinsky talking point. Hunter's live stream audience has grown a lot. He sits at about 250 live viewers on here after an hour or so being live. Yeah, still pretty, like, small viewership, but I'm not complaining. I enjoy talking to you guys, and I enjoy having the disagreements. Won't billionaires leave the country if we attack their wallets? I mean, you can tax carbon emissions. I don't know all the logistics, but it's surely more of a realistic solution than guillotining the rich. Let's, hold on. I mean, climate change is a real, serious, real issue that needs to be addressed, but it should be addressed realistically. You know, it should be addressed in a way that doesn't isolate valuable moderates, people that you actually need to get stuff passed. But then again, I'm not sure if any of these people that are advocating for this kind of shit and fighting with me about this are even in favor of like democracy anymore. I don't know. Why? Do you notice that shit always starts playing for me and it's so annoying? Are we serious right now, guys? Shut the fuck up. What is playing and why? Stop doing that. All right, let's see. Okay. So this is kind of what they're referencing. When the French Revolution turns radical. In April 1972, the newly elected Legislative Assembly declared war on Austria and Prussia, where it believed that French, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Reign of Terror. Following the king's execution, war with various European powers and intense divisions within the National Convention ushered the French Revolution into its most violent and turbulent phase. In June 1793, the Jacobins seized control of the National Convention from the more moderate something and instituted a series of radical measures, including the establishment of a new calendar and the eradication of Christianity. They also unleashed the Bloody Reign of Terror, a 10-month period in which suspected enemies of the revolution were guillotined by the thousands. Many of the killings were carried out under orders from someone else. Over 17,000 people were officially tried and executed during the Reign of Terror, and an unknown number of others died in prison or without trial. Thank you, Lubert, for the 5, and thank you, Ferlato, for the $5. Correction, the highest income bracket was 90%, but reinvestment into your business is deductible from that income, hence less tax paid. Yeah, it sounds like you understand that a little more than I do. I just know the 90% thing isn't true. Thank you, Maze, for the $2. You hate Kyle Kalinske too. God, that guy is a snowflake. Dang. Coming in hot over here, Maze. All right, let me see if this person's ready to talk yet. Hold on. Oh, is this them? Okay. Hold on. Oops. That's not what I was looking for. Okay. All right, hold on. Hold on. All right. Okay. We're calling. Wait, is this the wrong person? Hold on. Let's see. Oh, oops. I just called the wrong person. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Hello.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right. So let's start with the first tweet that you made about me, which was,
Yeah.
I had high hopes for you, but I guess you ended up being a dumb fuck after all. Sad.
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and let's hear your position.
Oh, okay. So, essentially my entire argument, and I'm not here to defend the cringy tweet or the revolutionary, LARPers, as I think you called them, and I agree that they are, in the replies. What I take issue with is when you take an edgy tweet from a Teen Vogue political writer like this, and you frame it as if this is an issue of the broader left
It isn't.
advocating for
I
political
absolutely
violence and hiding behind memes. The trend of the far right hiding behind memes while advocating for real violence. I mean, they're the ones who do the political violence.
It's not necessarily about who's doing the political violence. I was comparing the calling for violence while hiding behind memes. That was what I was comparing. Obviously, the right has a history of carrying out more violent attacks. I'm not denying that. However,
I would say,
this is hold on. This is an issue with the left. It absolutely is. And I know that because I made a post about it on both Twitter and Instagram, and I was called a dumb fuck by people like you. Also, like in your bio, like it looks pretty obvious like you're a communist. So, I mean, are you really not in favor of guillotining the rich, or do you want to just talk about it?
I mean, libertarian socialist. I put the hammer and sickle there to perturb people purposely.
So you're LARPing?
I mean, everybody LARPs online to an extent, right?
Uh,
I would say that putting a trans hammer and sickle Twitter banner to perturb right wingers is pretty far from LARPing for guillotining the rich on Twitter. I've
I mean,
never
I
done any of
called
that, I can
out
assure
the
you.
guillotining, and then you said I was a dumb fuck for it.
Yeah,
So
no, I'm not calling. I was again, and maybe I wasn't clear enough about this in my calling you a dumb fuck. I was not calling you a dumb fuck for your take that the tweet is cringe or that the people are LARPing. They are, and it is cringe. What again? My issue is that uh, the thousands of tankies on Twitter are not representative of the broader left wing movement in America. They just
I mean, I
aren't.
didn't necessarily say that it was, but also it is an issue on the left. And even if it's not that big of an issue, it should be called out then. If it's not that big of an issue, we should call it out now before it does become a bigger issue.
I don't know. It seems a little both sidesy to try and call that out when there's a distinct, demonstrable pattern of political extremist violence on the far right.
I mean, that's a
I mean,
whole, but that's a whole other conversation.
we just had an insurrection at the beginning of this year.
I know, but this is a whole other conversation. When I'm calling this shit out and then you call me a dumb fuck, like, do you understand why I was led to believe that you probably agreed with a meme?
Oh, I can see why. Yeah, I can see that.
So why don't you tell me your positions?
On fixing climate change or on what?
Yeah, like on this meme in general.
My
like
position on the meme is that the meme is cringe. You're not going to solve any of these massive global problems by executing individuals or anything of the sort. I mean, the system incentivizes these individuals to exist. So, I mean, there needs to be some sort of systemic change in order for these issues to be addressed. So I'm sure we probably share a similar opinion on that. It just seems a little like.
But don't you realize that, like, even with the alt-right, it started with memes before it led to more violence? Like, in 2015, 2016, right, it was like the Pepe memes, it was like the JQ stuff, and then before we know it, it's actually leading to violence. So I think we can...
Right, but I would say that the difference is that they had the backing of their politicians.
They did?
Well, of course they did. What do you mean? They had
Well,
Donald Trump. We had... What do you mean?
I guess I'm just confused because it sounds like you agree with my take overall.
I mean, I probably do agree with your take for the most part. I just disagree with the framing.
Okay, well... I guess you're coming on pretty strong online, calling me like a dumb fuck. You had high hopes for me, and I let you down. And then you're like,
listen. Here's
no,
my
then
thing
no.
is
It's funny because then like you show up and you're like, yeah, we actually agree a lot. Like it kind of reinforces the idea that you're LARPing.
Well, no, it just seems a little both sidesy and fence sitter.
Maybe it is both sides. I can both sides right here.
That's. I mean.
I
guess
don't
that's
care.
If that's
I'll
what you
bite the
wanna
bullet.
do,
Yeah, I'll be both
you really
sidesy
can,
here.
but
Sure.
It's very disingenuous to try and act like tankies on Twitter are representative of the left.
Did I say that they
overall.
were representative of the left?
It's very much implied when you reply to a tweet from a tanky and say the left advocates for violence.
Okay, sure. Either way, it's not about whether or not it's a like big faction of the left. It's about nipping it in the bud before it can manifest into more violent like outcomes.
I don't know. Are you ever gonna nip? But you just said they're LARPing. So what is there to nip in the bud?
Well, because the
Are you ever gonna nip LARPing in the bud? I don't think you are.
Well, no, I'm not trying to nip LARPing in the bud. What I am trying to nip in the bud, though, is the memes that kind of normalize this sort of violent behavior, right? So we can have, like, the people posting about guillotining, they're LARPing 100%. None of them are going to do shit.
I agree.
However, there are people that are seeing this tweet that might not be LARPing, or that it might reinforce these kind of violent ideas. Or, they're like on the left, there's a pretty decent amount of animosity against very rich people, or against landlords, or against police. Like, when you start posting stuff like this, it's inevitable that it's going to reaffirm some of those bad ideas.
I don't know. I guess I just think that the far right, or just the right in general, is far more predisposed to violence. I think that the people who are posting these memes or that are advocating for violence were way more likely to actually go do the violence than any of these tankies that
I don't
sit
know.
that
I
are
feel like you
terminally online that they haven't touched the grass since they were 10.
And a lot of
you
these
know,
far
and-
right people are LARPing idiots that don't touch grass either, like the Groypers on 4chan, for example,
Yeah,
constantly
but the difference
posting.
is
But
they have-
hold on, but wait. When they're
Okay.
posting, they might be LARPing on 4chan. Okay.
Uh-huh.
However, those posts are reinforcing other individuals that might not be LARPing. And it's not even just about like seeing actual violent outcomes. It's also more about just like this kind of bullshit shouldn't be on the left. And like the thing is you agree with me, but yet you're sort of like defending it at the same time.
I don't know. Maybe I am not necessarily defending it, but I just don't. If it's LARPing, then it's gonna be people are gonna LARP no matter what. So
do you realize the difference of like being a LARPer is like posting something LARPy, but then that post still being able to reinforce bad ideas?
Yes, I understand.
So
the difference is I don't think that's I don't think that's representative of most of the left.
Okay, well, we can disagree. That's fine.
The bad ideas on the right are the average right-wing idea. It's they are living in a different reality than we are.
I mean, I don't want to pull the like Antifa card, but like we do see individuals that are not afraid to take to the streets, right?
Responsible for 0 murders.
Sure, that's great. But I would like to keep it that way, and I don't think it's necessary to further radicalize people by memeing and posting LOL pictures about guillotining the rich.
I mean, I'd say it's okay to radicalize people. I'm radicalized, but I've never been politically violent.
Okay,
There's a difference
well, how are you
between
going to
being
implement your
politically
system?
radical and politically violent. How am I going to implement my system? Hopefully through slow and painful and arduous policy changes until I die, and then maybe it'll be a little bit better, and then somebody else can take over and do the same.
Are you messing with me, or is that actually your opinion here?
I mean, what else can we? I mean, what do we do? That's how the system works. Unless you're advocating for some sort of radical revolutionary change.
Okay, no, I'm not. But all right, it sounds like we agree more than we don't.
I probably. I mean, I entered into this. No, I've watched some of your content before. I've seen you on, like Dylan Burns on, Hippy Dippy and stuff like that. And
then one tweet just let you down, huh? I'm forever a dumb fuck now.
I've been seeing. Listen, maybe I'll retract my dumb fuck statement. I was a little heated because I do see a lot of.
It's just it always is a little frustrating when I like
Destiny tier both sidesy stuff of people saying, oh, the right and the left do it and pretending as if they're equally bad.
Okay, it doesn't even necessarily have to be equally bad for it to both still be bad, and we should still call it out on both sides. They don't have to be equally bad in order to call it out. I don't know. It's just it does get a little frustrating for me, right? When I see a lot of like hostility on Twitter, but then when we actually talk, it's like, oh, actually we agree a lot. It's like, okay, then maybe I don't know, we could have taken that approach before you like raged at me and called me a dumb fuck. But
I mean, that's possible. But
yeah. Either way, okay.
Are.
I mean, I think you might be a little bit of a LARPer, but either way, I'm glad to know that we agree more than we don't.
Okay.
All right. Have a good one.
I use you.
Ay, ay, ay. All right, let's take some more calls here. Hello. Zevalinks.
Hello?
Hello, what's up? Do you disagree with my take? Hello, can you hear me?
Hello? Am I coming through?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
I can hear you. I think you need to change your output. Hold on. Holy shit, we got a massive donation from Jill's Nova Guy. $500 motherfucking dollars. Holy shit. Hey, Hunter, just came by to say hello and to say that I'll be getting the second dose of Pfizer on Tuesday. Hey, Pfizer buddies, what's up? And I appreciate still putting my name on your patrons list on your videos, even though I'm no longer a patron. And if your mental health is really bad, do the same thing I did. Take time off. This is a one-time thing, by the way. I'm not coming back. Yeah, I understand. I know you said that politics have been very exhausting for you. But either way, man, hey, I really appreciate that. And yes, you're my top donor all the time on my fucking stream. So yeah, whether you're a patron or not, your name is getting on the end of my list, on the end of my videos. Spooky, hello. Okay. Hold on. I don't know who this person is, so hold on a second. Mormonde, hello. I can hear you, yeah. All right. Yeah, he was a troll. That's why I had him muted. All right. Okay. Hey, Zevalinks, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello? Oh yeah, something's not working with them. Spooky, you want to talk? Hello? Hello? I'm kind of disappointed in that discussion because I was like wanting to talk to people about it, like for real. And then it just like led to nothing. I really don't like when people do that stuff. Okay. Hello. Can you hear me?
I'm sorry.
Hell yeah, you can hear me. All right, so do you disagree with my take?
Yeah, I disagree with, well, most of your takes are actually pretty fine. I'm very happy you're a progressive guy. I'm very happy you're a social democrat. But some takes of you, man, some things just not really, don't feel right with me, man.
Like being against guillotining the rich?
No, I think that's a pretty solid take. Like it's not that the people who are rich are not intrinsically wrong.
Right.
It's being rich that makes them. It's being able to have such amount of money, and being able to use that money in a way that exerts power over others.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's wrong. But I don't think like we should all kill them or anything.
Okay, well then we kind of agree more or less.
Yeah, as I said, I agree with most of your takes actually.
Good. I'm wanting someone to come on here that doesn't.
Uh,
I want to see
Hey,
someone that actually has the balls to tell me that, yeah, we want to fucking kill the rich, and then I can talk to them about it.
That's okay. Anyway, I just wanna say before I go,
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate your content. It's been real fun, and yeah, that's it. I'll be following you anytime.
All right, man. Well, hey, I appreciate it.
You know, man.
Thanks, man. Have a good one. All right. Looper Romps. Thank you for the 5. I used to watch you years back when we were both reactionaries. Good to meet you back on this side all the years later. All the best to you. Age, by the way, I'm currently 24, and it is good to see you again, my dude. Thanks for tuning in. The Shy Doomer. Hello. I think we've talked before, and I made a joke about you being shy because you didn't talk. I can talk to you, Hunter. If someone disagrees with my take on... Look, okay? If someone disagrees, this tweet right here, then get in my Discord and talk to me about it. I can't hear you. Testing, testing. Okay, hold Hold on. Okay, we'll give them a second to get that rolling. All right. Hello, hello, hello. All right, well, we'll come back to you. JPB1209. Hello, how are you today? Why is no one able to hear me? I don't understand. I can't connect. They can speak. Okay. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? All right, hold on. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you. What's up?
Finally, I've been trying to contact you forever now.
Do you
Thank
disagree
God.
with my current take?
Okay, I do not. I think it's very LARPy, and you have to deal with the system and not individuals, because the individual will just be replaced.
Okay, sure. So we agree then.
Yes, we definitely do agree. I feel like everyone in your comments right now, being LARPers, is very cringe, and I just wanted to make that point of stop having a hate boner against these people and start attacking the systems in place.
Right. Well, that's the definition of LARPing, though, right? Not actually advocating for any like meaningful change.
Exactly, exactly. Also, a lot of people are comparing Antifa to fascism and communism to fascism, which is also really lowbrow. I know you have an issue with Antifa, but what is your position on that? I just want to know.
You know, I would have to like flesh that out a little more. Like, I'm not usually a fan of like rioting and violence, especially when a lot of the times it seems to be unnecessary. So I would say I'm probably not the biggest fan of Antifa. Yeah.
Yeah, they do have some cringe moments. Like, of course, like any little bad thing that happens within the community is blasted on the internet. I was part of an Antifa group, and the majority of our work was literally going around like feeding homeless, giving water bottles to them. Like, it was just very PC, and when we brigaded people online that were open fascists. That was most of our work.
I got you. Well, hey, man, I appreciate that we're able to chat for a little while. I do have to get to the next caller, though, because I know it's only a matter of time until I get someone in here that's going to be, like, disagreeing with me.
Yeah, all the cringe lords in chat, grow a pair and get on the call.
Hell yeah, listen to the Shy Doomer, okay?
Yep.
All right,
have
man.
a beautiful day, Hunter.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello.
Hello.
Do you disagree with my take?
Somewhat. I just have a question. Do you think political violence is ever justified?
Political violence? Yeah, of course. Of course there are times where political violence is justified. My take is usually that, like, if you have absolutely no other option, then violence might be the answer. But I don't think that we can say that we have no other option when it comes to climate change.
So you think there's no option like there's no other option for climate change? Like we're not at that point yet.
Yeah, no, not at all. There's plenty of shit we can do, like implementing a carbon tax.
Well, I guess that's somewhat I would agree with you, but I feel like if someone genuinely that is their belief that there is nothing can be done and they have to take that to change.
You're cutting out pretty hard. I'm having a hard time understanding you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think I don't know if you were like stepping away from your phone, but I can hear you a lot more clear now.
Yeah, I think that in the case of if someone does believe that climate change is there's nothing we can do right now, then I believe that in their eyes the political violence would be justified.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean,
I
sure. Like
where that line is drawn, like people disagree with that line. So
there's absolutely. Like, but couldn't you make the same argument for like the far right? Like they feel justified in
I
their
mean, yeah,
violence.
we can make the argument for the far right, but like there's a difference. Like say like white genocide, like oh we're going to be genocided off the planet, so we have to do this to prevent that. In their eyes, that would be justified. But I think that the left comes at it from a fundamentally different place, and that they're trying to their causes are trying to be just, is what I'm saying, but it's completely subjective.
Sure. Okay, yeah, I mean, it is subjective when it comes down to like when political violence is acceptable. Although I think that I can pretty confidently say that political violence is certainly not warranted when it comes to climate change.
I mean, I do think that the people on Twitter are LARPing and they're not really down for that. But I'm just saying, like, if somebody genuinely believes that that is the only option, then I would say that they're completely justified in whatever action they would take to try to enforce some type of change.
Do you think that on January 6th, those people that broke into the Capitol building were justified? Because they certainly believed in their heart that what they were doing was justified.
Hunter, like we have to there's a difference, because there's a fundamental reality that the right sometimes deny. So that's not the same.
How is it not the same? You said it's just that.
No, I would argue that if the election was actually stolen and democracy was actually be taken away from people, I believe the raiding of the Capitol would be completely justified. But that's simply false, because the election wasn't stolen.
Okay, but they believed that it was, and you said it would be okay if they believed that they were justified, right?
I'm saying that the facts don't back up their justifications, but the left, they have a somewhat justified cause.
No, they don't. They don't. The left does not have any justified reason to be advocating to kill the rich.
No, I'm not saying they don't have a justified cause to be advocate. I'm just saying, like, the fundamental issue that they're arguing is a detriment to society.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, climate change is a serious issue. Absolutely, it is.
I'm not saying it's at the point to where that action needs to be taken, but I'm just saying it could get to that point. There's a possibility it could get to that point. With January 6th, the fundamental reality is that the election wasn't stolen. But
so you're saying the fundamental reality is that climate change is occurring?
No, climate change is occurring.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm asking you. Is that's what you're saying is different with the left, right? The fundamental belief there is that climate change is occurring and climate change is actually occurring.
Yes, that's the difference between violence on the right and the left. Because if the election was indeed stolen, I'd be like, yeah, something needs to happen. Radical change of if democracy was being stolen from the country, a revolution would need to happen if that was the case.
Sure. And yeah, okay, cool. So then basically there's just no need for a revolution right now.
I would say, yes, there's no need for a revolution, but I get the headspace that the left is in with the whole eat the rich and all that. Their cause is
I understand the headspace they're in. The problem is that kind of bullshit is just really, not only is it LARPy, but it's cringe in the sense that it reinforces and plays into actual violence, right?
Actual violence, and I haven't seen some lefty pink-haired Twitter girl decapitating Jeff Bezos or anything like I don't think it's a huge problem, because we don't live in the reality of where this is going on in active violence, where we do have people being completely radicalized by white supremacy. Like, so I don't understand why we're focusing on that topic. It's like,
no, this is kind of like a pivot, right? Like we can focus on two different things at once. Yeah, the thing is, for me, you got to understand too, is like in my position, like I don't want people to become radical. I didn't get de-radicalized, quote unquote, from the right to become re-radicalized on the left. I don't want people to be. I want to pull people away from radicalization. I think that there is. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is, I don't think that's possible. I don't think you would ever get to the point to where people are legit wanting to genocide rich people. That's different from what's happening on the right, where you do have people that legit want a genocide.
This is like conjecture. You're basically saying, well, like, oh, it would probably never get to that point. But like, how do you know that? The alt-right could have said the exact same thing with the Pepe memes back in 2016.
But I mean, yeah, but like we're like say for like I just don't get why we're focusing on this issue when it's not a big like. It would
I'm
be like
focusing
if,
on
like,
this issue because I think it might be a little bit of a bigger issue than you think it is. The fact that this tweet got over 30,000 likes, the fact that I posted about this shit on my Instagram and was getting attacked and lost followers from leftists. Yeah, I think that it is like, it might not speak for everyone, just like not every right-winger is the alt-right, okay? But we should still call out radical elements of
I think
every
it's
side.
like a bit of a punching up situation to where people like generally it's accepted to punch up and make jokes about punching up.
But this is what I mean, is it's just a joke, bruh. Like, that's the cringe that I'm talking about. That's here's a meme that advocates for violence, and when you get pressed on it and called out on it, well, then all of a sudden it's just a joke, it's just a meme, I don't mean anything by it. But, like, you're low-key reinforcing those ideas.
Okay, but here's the problem. Okay, say if I harp on a trans person for saying, like, oh, you don't want to date me, you're transphobic. Those trans people are few and far between. Like, there's no trans people really saying, oh, if you don't want to date me, you're transphobic. But if I choose to highlight that issue and focus on it like it's some type of widespread issue, it seems like my attention is misplaced there.
This seems really like arbitrary because in my opinion, this does seem like enough of an issue, especially for me to be calling it out on my stream and on my Twitter.
Well, I disagree with people calling you out, but I would just say that on some level that their cause has some merit in that it's a possibility that could happen.
What could happen? Violence?
No, climate change destroying the planet. Like
yes, of course that could happen. But again, there are ways to fix that. And the way that we fix that is by reaching out to moderates and actually getting legislation and tax policy passed, not LARPing on Twitter about guillotining the rich. And furthermore, what I would say is when you LARP about guillotining the rich, what you're doing is you're pushing away otherwise very valuable moderates that could otherwise be in your favor. Like, look at the bipartisan bill that just passed the Senate, right? We saw all sorts of measures there to address climate change. That passed with both the Republicans and the Democrats. We can still come to an agreement there.
I would agree with you. I just think it's a situation where, I don't really think there's lefties out there wanting the guillotine. Like, it's more of an optics issue than they actually want to do that, in my opinion. That's the difference.
You could have literally, the thing is you could have said the same thing back in like 2014, 15, and 16 about the alt-right.
I know you could have said the same thing, but it's just not true that it's the same thing. Like, neo-Nazis legit want to genocide people. I don't think there are any leftists that legit want to genocide the rich.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying, just so we're clear, I'm not saying that they're like identical. I recognize there's a difference. I also recognize there's a difference between desiring to kill somebody for like their wealth versus trying to kill somebody for like an immutable characteristic. I get that there's a difference there. I just think that overall, like, this doesn't do anything to help your cause at all.
I mean, I guess it does. I guess it's just idiots on Twitter making jokes. But I wouldn't get up on stage and say, like, let's guillotine the rich. But I just think it's people on Twitter making jokes and stuff. Like, I don't think that's their.
And the people tweeting about the JQ, they're just making jokes too, man.
Hunter, you keep going. Like, okay, do you think there's legit people on the left that want to push this agenda
yes.
that legit want to genocide the rich people?
Yes, absolutely, yeah. I've been arguing with them on my Twitter. They're tankies. That's like been a pretty much acknowledged issue with the left.
That's
okay, sure. So this is enough of an issue for me to be drawing attention to it. Yeah, especially I think when people assume that I'm now like on the left or a leftist and everything else. Like, I think it's important for me to be calling this kind of bullshit out too, because like I said, I don't want people to become radical. I don't care what side. I just want people to stop being radical and actually be able to work within the system, be a little more moderate, actually get some results.
Okay, I think for optically, maybe what you should do is be like, hey guys, we probably shouldn't joke like this, but like when you draw that direct comparison to the right, it kind of sends a vitriol to people because that's the very thing they hate. And when you compare them,
Yeah, and it's really
embarrassing.
if they hate the alt-right so bad, then they should stop engaging in similar tactics.
I know that. I'm just saying optically to draw more people in and agree with your side. That's like a radical comparison that's going to immediately make them flip the fuck out. So optically, it's probably best to tap dance.
I mean, if
that.
you want to take this line of reasoning, you could just as easily say that the optics of posting pictures of guillotines and talking about killing the rich could chase moderates away also. So I think that we're kind of even there. But either way, I appreciate you coming on, man.
All right, no problem.
All right, see ya. All right, let's see. Let me make sure this is muted because I'm pretty sure this guy's going to troll again. So hold on. Hello? Yeah, this guy. Okay. All right. Astrid, hello. You're on. Hello, how you doing?
Just a second while I mute you.
Sure.
All right, so I have a few things. I'm taking notes. First off, I want to say that I feel it's a little disingenuous to ignore the power differential between dorks on Twitter and then actual like white supremacists who did a attack that was instigated by the President of the United States.
Okay, just to be clear, I never said that these things were like identical, but rather that there are some similarities with hiding behind the memes.
I just kind of jumped in and I want to know more of like what you're thinking.
Yeah, the similarities are posting memes that advocate for violence, and then when you're called out on it, it's hiding behind the memes. Like,
okay,
it's just a joke, bruh. I didn't really mean it, bruh. I was just memeing, man. Like, it's the same exact kind of tactics that the alt-right engaged in, and we saw the way that that was able to play a role in radicalizing people, and I don't want people to become radical and violent on the left or the right.
So, all right, I disagree with not wanting people to become radical because I think we live in a very radical system right now. I think that we
that's
have
contributed to
a lot of
so
stuff
much
going
problem,
on
so
that
many
is
problems.
literally just killing people. Yeah, like private prisons, climate change. These are things that these are systems that people are perpetuate, and they make money off of them, which is incredibly radical and sick and twisted. So I think to say that you don't want people to become radical in any way is just you're fetishizing the status quo. And when the status quo is killing people, I feel like a little bit of radicalness is needed in some way.
So you are cool with the guillotining the rich thing? So why don't you
I
walk
actually
me
have
down the line? Like, what would that look like?
thing that I think, and I'm not prepared to defend this in a court of law, but have you considered how rich people basically don't act like humans? They don't have the needs, they don't have the common struggles that we associate with humans. They are kind of removed from humans. They're not subhumans, and they're not more than humans because I don't believe that they can be. But they are not. They are removed from the human experience.
I mean, they might
Jeff
be they're operating with a lot more like privilege and freedom and wealth. Sure, yeah.
Jeff
sure.
Bezos's privilege means that he never has to worry about anything ever for the rest of his life.
This is completely aside the point, though.
To do these things, it's just a thing that I think you should know, because seriously, like, this is not when Trump said, you're all wonderful people, that actually had consequences. When fucking Hikaru
Okay, so
Abhard,
if let me just stop you right there. If we saw someone like, let's say we saw a rich person get guillotined, would you then be against memes like this?
I would literally have to see a rich person get guillotined first, and it doesn't seem like it's going to
So you're not
happen
actually
because
against like
of the
harmful,
insane power differential.
but you're not against like harmful, like reinforcing these harmful ideas until it actually leads to harm. Shouldn't you try to stop it before it gets to that point?
Violence is not a necessarily bad thing.
That's
If you want
true,
to
but
talk
when you're
about
advocating for
violence, then
guillotining
you
and
should
being
talk about this violence that is going on right now. Violence in prison systems.
So how do you want to
Violence
fix
that is
it?
killing people.
So the
right now.
climate, let's focus on the climate change thing since that's what the meme is focusing on. How do you want to fix it?
Well, we have to take power away from billionaires who are using that power to kill people, and that's
So how
the
are
thing.
billionaires
Like,
using
the
that power to kill
guillotine
people?
is not a I don't believe that we actually want to guillotine people. We want to take that power away and redistribute it among the people.
Okay, well then you should
Because it's
post
not
that.
an immutable characteristic of them, and it's not. I don't post that thing, but I will continue to not post it. Thank you. It's not an immutable characteristic of them. It is more of a choice that they are actively doing, and then using the power that they have. That is the thing that I take.
Issue
I
with,
take
sure.
a very big offense.
Okay, sure. So I'm asking you what you want to do about it, other than just like take their power away. Like, what would that look like? Do you want to implement like policy? Do you want to do it via legislation?
Yeah, of course. Of course. I would like to use the systems of government. I don't think those systems of government are very tenable to leftist policies because they are literally run by the same people. Like all of Jeff Bezos's concerns, the incestuous relationship between money and politics means that when Jeff Bezos doesn't want a union, unions don't happen.
I
And
agree
that's
that
really
there are some
problematic.
problems there, but thankfully we have Joe Biden who's working very hard in strengthening unions and giving workers more power. I guess the thing is it sounds like we agree on like a lot of the solutions, so I just don't know what the point of like defending guillotine memes are.
That they haven't done any harm yet. If
I mean,
they
if
if they
that's
do if they
seriously-
actually do something,
God,
then
is
I
that
think
really
we
the
can,
line
then I
you
think
wanna
we can
draw,
revisit
though?
it.
Is that really like because you
so
could have said the same again? I just talked to this last person. I
This
said the same
Twitter
thing.
mob probably owns 2 guns between them, and has and they certainly don't have bodyguards.
So what?
Versus people like Trump, who had like the Secret Service and the Office of the Presidency behind him, and versus people who actually are going out and committing hate crimes. I'm just asking you to look at the physical things that are happening, like how many people get
I'm aware of that.
guillotined,
I've
how
talked.
many black
Okay,
men get shot in the street.
I've talked about all this. I'm aware that there's other violence that occurs, and I'm also aware that white supremacy and like domestic terrorism is a serious issue. I've talked about this a lot on my channel, but just like I don't like memes on the right that advocate for killing people and then backing up and hiding behind it's just a meme, bro, I don't like when the left does it either. I think that it's really hypocritical and does much more of a disservice to your movement. If you're posting shit like this, you're just going to scare away moderates. And moderates are really the people that you need right now. If you want to convince people, or I'm sorry, if you want to address climate change, you need to do so by convincing people that it's happening. Right now we have a fuck ton of like Christian conservatives that don't even think it's real. Like, we need to reach those people and convince them that it's happening. And then we'll just continue to see more and more bipartisan support on addressing these climate change issues like what we've already been seeing.
I know
That's such
we're
a
really
more
far in the weeds here, but
we're not
I
in the
think
weeds at
that,
all. It's very
we
straightforward.
don't have to convince people that climate change exists. Some people literally get paid to tell people that climate change does not exist. That is not the thing that we're so outmoneyed in that fight that I don't know how we can drag people out of and deprogram them out of climate change denialism, out of COVID denialism, out of all that stuff. But what we can do is we can give people actionable things to do who already agree with us but don't know what to do. That is the kind of people that I think
What
are
actionable
the
stuff?
most important. So I wish I knew things like petitions, things like working getting laws passed, that is the sort of things that I want to do.
Okay, cool. So it sounds like we're in
but,
agreement there.
Yeah. We are in agreement about a lot of things. I just think you're making a big stink over this and calling people hypocrites when there's such a power differential. And again, guillotines haven't killed right-wing people. When a billionaire gets actually guillotined, let's talk about this again.
All right, if that's really the standard you want to set, that it's not a problem until it actually leads to harm, then okay, that's the standard you want to set. I think that's a pretty shitty standard.
It's not a problem because there's no power behind these this little Twitter mob with who's posting an image of a guillotine.
It doesn't matter. It's about the hypocrisy. It's about the hypocrisy of posting memes that are advocating for violence and then backing up and trying to claim it's just a meme. The truth of the matter is this reinforces violent ideas and extremist ideas, and I don't think that that's a good way to affect any kind of real change when it comes to climate change.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, man. Well,
I like the idea of people having a symbol to rally around, like having your little guillotine. Nobody actually guillotines people.
No, you can advocate. Okay, stop. You can. That's LARPing bullshit right there. You can organize around any kind of symbol. The symbol does not need to be a guillotine, where you're simultaneously, subconsciously reinforcing violent ideas in people. I don't think that's a good idea. But hey, I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
Oh, hey, Hunter, can you hear me?
I can. Do you disagree with my take?
Yes, I actually do. But I don't disagree with part of it. So the death penalty aspect, I think most leftists disagree with that, or at least most progressive people. I think there definitely is a lot of leftists, particularly like Marxist, Leninists, tankies, that do agree with the death penalty against the rich, and that's pretty important. But I do think that there is a lot of joking in leftist circles about like the guillotine and like, oh, and then we kill Jeff Bezos. I think like Hassan has made jokes about that before.
Yeah, which is LARPing, and that's what I think is so cringy.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I'm not a big fan of the death penalty in general, but I do agree with left-wing political violence where it is necessary. So, for instance, in America, I don't think right now the left could have an actual violent revolution without it just being a fascist revolution. That being said, so I don't really agree with left-wing violence in America. However, in with climate change, I don't really see any way of saving the world without it being through some sort of left-wing, anti-capitalist, violent takeover.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I think if we're going to address climate change, I like I've been saying, I think the most effective way to do so is by a carbon tax.
See, that's where you kind of get me, because I don't see a way for there to be a carbon tax.
Why not? They've already done it in Canada.
Enough. Canada's a little okay. So, let me think for a minute. To effectively and quickly stop the worst of climate change, we're pretty much too late, but we can still reduce harm in the future. There's going to be like a lot of starvation and third world countries. There's going to be huge flooding. People are going to die. And the faster we solve climate change, the less people are going to die. And I just don't see us using a tax as a fast enough method of saving enough people. Does that make sense?
I mean, even if you thought that, then like guillotining the rich doesn't really seem like a very effective way either.
No, I'm just talking about like violence against like the ownership class in general, because they're not gonna just like hand over ownership of their property to.
Sure, but they will have to pay more taxes, and I keep on bringing this thing up because I think it's really good proves my point pretty well. I can send this to you here if you want this. This is a study that was done by over 11 different scientists. The analysis was part of a multi-group effort to apply sophisticated modeling tools to assess the impact of various proposed carbon pricing schemes. And it basically explains that we could see like a significant reduction. All these tax scenarios at worst meet U.S. commitments for 2030, and the $50 tax is well exceeding it. Many experts say the Paris Agreement alone will not be sufficient to curb catastrophic consequences of global climate change, but this single measure would go a long way toward reducing that impact. So sure, the current Paris Agreement that we have might not be enough because, right here, $25 per ton is the initial tax. But this is talking about doing an increment tax where it slowly but surely goes up every year. And then it's going to be starting, I think they said, at $50 per ton of carbon emissions. So, their analysis indicates that starting with a $50 per ton carbon tax and increasing it by 5% per year would lead to a 63% reduction in total U.S. greenhouse gas emissions by 2050.
Right. I agree with you there. I just don't see that happening in America fast enough. What gets done in this country?
We just got the bipartisan thing passed, which, again, not great, not perfect, doesn't go as far as we might like it to. However, we see, I'm reading this here from thewhitehouse.gov. Let's see. Biden plans on repairing and rebuilding our roads and bridges with a focus on climate change mitigation. There was somewhere over here. Right here. Electrify thousands of school and transit buses across the country to reduce harmful emissions and drive domestic manufacturing of zero-emission vehicles and components. So, we can argue that we can say that maybe this doesn't go far enough, but this was passed by the Senate in a bipartisan agreement. Mitch McConnell voted for this. Obviously, we are able to get stuff done. And the reason, just to double down on that, the reason we're seeing stuff like this actually happen, the reason we're seeing actual benefits and mitigation for climate change, right, is because the moderates are being reached. That's what's important here. And when you're posting stuff like the guillotine memes or whatever, you're not doing anything. You're just ostracizing people that could otherwise be really useful to your movement.
I guess where we just disagree is really just the effectiveness of reformation, especially with climate change. Now, I am in favor of reformation, especially here in America, just because, like I said earlier, I don't think that a leftist revolution could happen without being a complete fascist takeover.
I gotcha.
That makes sense. This is stuff that I support. I would vote for any person that's implementing a tax on carbon. I just, to save as much lives as possible, I think it's completely justified for the left to violently take over ownership of these industries.
What would that look like, though? This is why I think it's a LARP, is because it's let's say that you actually successfully guillotine a couple rich people. Then what's going to happen? Hello? You still there? Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Sorry about that. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't really know where I was on my point.
I'd asked you a question. I said, let's say that we see some violent uprising happen and a couple billionaires get the guillotine. Then what?
So well, one, I'm against the death penalty. I just mean violently taking over ownership of the models. You don't have to execute people. I don't even think you have to imprison them. You just take it away.
I thought the whole lefty thing is that they're never going to just hand it over.
No, you have to take it violently if they resist.
Okay. So you have to take it violently, just don't actually kill them.
Well, I would argue that it's meeting violence with violence. Exploitation is violence. Imperialism is violence.
It's an incredibly different type of violence. I could even agree with you on there, but it's different than being charged at by a man with a knife, right? And I think the way that we go about solving those kind of that quote unquote violence is, again, by fixing the system, not violently overtaking capital. That's the thing also that I don't understand is, let's say that hypothetically your violent revolution occurs and then you take over Amazon, I guess. Like, would you just abolish that company entirely?
I mean, it really depends on like what leftist model you believe in, but
Because I'm just not sure how that would even fix climate change. Like, I mean, if all these people, let's say that all the workers take over Amazon, okay? They all collectively own Amazon. Why the fuck would they want to vote away their jobs or vote away anything that could affect their end goal, right?
well, this is why I said that I don't think that a leftist revolution could even happen in America. There's no class consciousness in America. People are completely divided on like racial lines and shit like that.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, I think like more like takeover in smaller countries, like through like third. I'm not really a big subscriber of third worldism,
But you realize that, like, when you say that, like, you don't think this could ever happen in America, like, that's the LARPing right there. It's like you're advocating for
guess.
something that
I'm just-
you understand is never going to really happen. And even if it did happen, I don't really
Not-
know if it would even fix anything.
Not as America is, like right now. If America was to achieve better class consciousness, then yes, a violent revolution could be possible in America.
So
in
what do you
favor
think's
of,
more
like, socialism.
realistic? Getting all of America to be class conscious or implementing like a carbon tax?
I mean, the carbon tax is something you can do at the same time, is it not?
Sure.
If carbon tax is something that we could do in like the next month or even today, couldn't we also work on class consciousness at the same time?
I mean, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that this is a very effective way in getting change done.
Fair enough.
All right, man.
You can let someone else in.
Well, have a good one.
Have a good stream. Yeah.
Okay. Nick Dubrovik, what's up?
Yes, is this Hunter?
Yes, it is. Do you disagree with my take?
No, I do not actually. I think it's perfectly reasonable. And there's one thing though I did want to say too, like, so I have two jobs. One of them at night is a factory. Today I'm a little slow, but I'm an entrepreneur as well during the day. I
Okay.
think like both sides actually think this way. They don't believe this about stuff, which they can't actually do that legally because of First Amendment stuff.
Wait. Hold on. What do you mean? What censorship stuff?
You know, the tech censorship. They want government to regulate private companies on freedom of speech.
Oh,
Unless
right,
you
yeah,
override
yeah.
the First Amendment somehow, it's going to be illegal.
Gotcha. Okay, I misunderstood what you said there. Go ahead.
So yeah, so I think both sides have this stuff all wrong. Like you get conservatives that want to steal from the rich, you get liberals that want to do the same thing. My point with all this is like I used to be one of these nutty conservative types, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I know how these people think, and they're no different than liberals, the ideological morons, obviously, on either side. They're addicted to their stuff out of anger. They're addicted to being mad. And basically, the issue I have, whenever one picks a side, we all see mental and we all see segregation on the racial and socioeconomic levels and religious and all that crap. We see that very coherently.
Mm-hmm.
What I think is equally dangerous, equally problematic and insulting, and equally evil, but more dangerous, is the concept in general of ideologies. And this is where this all comes from. It doesn't matter what side you pick. If you don't observe things,
Mm-hmm.
you're opening yourself up for indoctrination.
That's
I don't care
true.
what side you pick.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, it sounds like we agree on most things then.
Yeah, and hey, I wanted to say too, your content is amazing.
Thank you,
I
man.
love your content. The person that introduced it to me, I don't think I'm on good terms with, and from what I understand, this individual's not on good terms with you either. But I used to follow her, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, you did kind of snap me out of it in a good sense.
Who was it?
You know that gal, the Miss Michigan 2019 lady, Kathy Zhu?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's nice. I think, I don't know. I think she had a kind of a misunderstanding in some way. That's the other thing though. Do you mind if I comment on this too?
On what?
There's something about her take on things that is a little bit different, because like, you know how people say Eastern and Western ideas are, you know, different in a lot of ways based on cultural stuff.
Yeah.
And I've heard you mention before, America is centered on the Enlightenment philosophy, and that is true. I actually agree with that 100%, because otherwise we wouldn't have religious freedom or an economy. Hang on, this volume thing is a little bit issue related here.
It's okay. I'm gonna have to go to the next caller in a second too.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Point being, if I may finish real quick.
Please do.
Communism is a Western construct. That is Western civilization, and labeling it conservative is what these conservatives want. That's basically another thing I want to bring up. So,
okay.
If that makes sense. I know I probably might sound a little bit odd and incoherent. I'm just a little nervous because I'm not usually on these kind of big calls. So
No, don't worry about it, man. I understand. No, I think that.
But I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, I was saw something in chat. Yeah. All right, cool, man. Well, hey, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, and hey, I love your stuff, and yeah, I think you're really good. You're basically what America has always been supposed to have been. And I tell you right now, most Americans, despite what some people might see on television, most of them don't even care about politics unless it gets on the extreme levels like this. And that's where America should be, and that's where I believe you are. So
I got you. All right, man. Well, hey, have a good one, all right?
Good. You too. Take care. I'm sorry, a little nervous. Right,
No worries. I really appreciate the support.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
I got distracted. I got a little distracted here by someone messaging me. Hold on. Oh. Hey, Jill's Nova Guy, did you not hear what I read your super chat? Hey, Hunter, just came by to say hello and to say that I'll be getting the second dose of Pfizer on Tuesday, August 17th. Yeah, man. Good to hear it. And yeah, I have Pfizer also, so we're Pfizer buddies. How cool, right? It's really great. I appreciate you still putting my name on your patron list on your videos, even though I'm no longer a patron. Yeah, dude, you're one of my top donors, so fucking, of course, you're going to get your name on the end of my videos until the day I'm dead. And if your mental health is really bad, do the same that I did. Take time off. This is a one-time thing, by the way. I'm not coming back. Yeah, I understand, man. Politics can be very exhausting. So, thank you, though, for the donation. And yeah, happy to see you again. Happy to know you're doing well. All right, I don't know how much more. I don't know if there's anyone that's going to come along that actually, like, unironically say that we should start, like, killing landlords. Hello? Bruno. Guys, if you are enjoying the live stream, then consider putting something in the super chat. Your donations help keep the channel running. Your donations not only help keep the channel running, but also I will read and respond to your messages live. Isn't that cool? You can write a message and then hear my luscious voice. Respond to it. I'm done. He's even supporting this poison. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? What poison am I supporting? You're starting to resort to right-wing talking points? Wait. Is this to me or is this someone else? I think I might be reading. I think chat might be fighting with each other, and I'm thinking it's them saying it to me. All right, we'll try a couple more callers here. Christopher, what's up?
Hey, Hunter.
Do you disagree with me?
I don't disagree with you, but I do kind of want to call you on some shit.
Okay.
In a silly way. So, I would say we've got the meme with the guillotine, and then I went to your Twitter feed, and I wanted to see if, let's see this. when I'm dying of heat exhaustion thanks to climate change, I'm gonna take real comfort in knowing Bezos went to space for 11 minutes. Does that kind of attitude kind of feed into the guillotine memes that these?
No, I don't think so, because I mean no, I don't think so at all, because, and this is why, of course the like Amazon contributes to a lot of like carbon emission. We're not really arguing about that. No, I was just memeing about Amazon contributing to carbon emissions. I wasn't talking about killing Bezos or guillotines or anything.
Right. No,
So no, I don't think that that's the same even remotely. No.
Okay. Cool, man. Just wanted to try to offer some kind of shit because no one's really coming in and arguing.
I know, right? Everyone says all this bullshit to me on Twitter, and then I'm like, yo, why don't you show up in my Discord? And then everyone's like, actually, I kind of agree with you.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. But keep up the good work, man. I'm loving it all.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too.
Okay. Your Environment Seattle. Thanks for the $5. Climate topic. Let's go. Please support nuclear energy. We just need we need more efficient energy. Thankfully, we have Joe Biden getting some shit done. All right. I don't know if there's anyone else here that's actually going to like argue with me here. Let's see here. All right, I think that I feel like I've said everything I need to say here. So yeah. All right, let's move on to the next topic. I think we've probably covered this one enough, huh? Okay. Okay. Let me check my PayPal also. If you are watching on if you're watching on Twitch and you want to support, then yeah, put something in the PayPal. You can include a message that way. Okay. We're going to get a little more personal now. All right. So you guys have heard me talk a lot about like my mental health. I've talked a lot about OCD specifically. This is something that I have dealt with for quite some time. Okay. Give me a second, guys. All right, hold on. I'm going to go pee really quick and I'll be right back, okay? All right. We're back. Okay. Okay. Oh, take a big old yawn. So today, I'm about to get personal. Your favorite gay-looking straight boy has his heart on his sleeve again. Today, I'm going to be talking a little bit about my mental health, more specifically, my struggle with OCD and how I got better. Now, OCD isn't something that you completely cure. It's a lot like anxiety or depression, something that you can't really cure, but you can absolutely get it under control and manage it and still live a very happy, healthy life. And that's where I'm at right now. So let's talk a little bit about OCD, my struggle with OCD, and what this even looks like. Far too often, I think that the media especially portrays OCD as this quirk. It's this quirky little personality trait where you don't want all your books where you want to organize all your books by color, where you don't like it when something's a little messy, where maybe you're worried about dust. Oftentimes this is how the media portrays OCD. And I remember even when I was working my retail job, there would be times where like my manager would say stuff like, "Hey, Hunter, can you organize the shelf? I'm really OCD about it." That's not what OCD is. It's really not. There is a component of OCD that could be like an obsession with being neat and clean, but OCD is a hell of a lot more than that. And it's also a hell of a lot worse than that. I remember when I was going through my like OCD phase, I remember thinking, holy shit, dude, I wish that my mental illness was just, oh, I want my books to be color coordinated or something. So what actually is OCD? Well, OCD, it stands for Obsessive Compulsive Disorder. And it's something that can manifest itself in many different ways. But one way that it manifests itself, and I think that a lot of people don't understand this or know about this, but it's through intrusive thoughts. Usually these intrusive thoughts are thoughts that like come across very repulsive to the person that have these intrusive thoughts, right? So like there are various different types of intrusive thoughts that you can have. It could be a violent thought. Maybe you just get a thought that pops in your head all of a sudden about like killing your family. Sometimes, and it's actually even like a documented thing, some people even have problems with like intrusive thoughts involving like pedophilia. And oftentimes people that struggle with this kind of shit, they don't seek help because they're afraid. They're afraid that maybe something's wrong with them, right? But there's something important to remember, and that is a lot of people have intrusive thoughts. Like that's a very common thing to happen. The difference is that people with OCD obsess over these intrusive thoughts and oftentimes think that these thoughts mean something a hell of a lot worse than what they actually mean, which is simply, it was an intrusive thought. It happens. So usually, yeah, this manifests itself by having an intrusive thought. And then for me, when I was really dealing with my OCD shit, this was like a couple years ago now, but when I was dealing with this, it was a lot of intrusive thoughts, and then that would be accompanied by like severe anxiety. And usually these intrusive thoughts are also accompanied by what if thoughts. That's like a key thing with OCD. Oftentimes it's like, well, what if I really do want to kill my family? What if I actually am a pedophile? What if I'm a seriously bad person? What if I'm actually demonic, possessed, whatever? There are various different types of OCD what if thoughts and intrusive thoughts. Like I already said, violent intrusive thoughts, pedophilia intrusive thoughts. There can be intrusive thoughts about hurting yourself You know, what if I go crazy and just jump off a bridge? What if while I'm driving home, I run someone over by accident? I remember reading one story about someone who had OCD so bad, they would be driving and then they would be afraid, or they'd have a what if thought. What if I just hit someone with my car? It sounds bizarre and delusional. Like, no, I'm pretty sure you would know if you fucking hit somebody with your car, dude. But with OCD, it's accompanied by such a severe amount of anxiety that oftentimes these what-if thoughts are taken very seriously. And I remember reading a story about someone who suffered from OCD, and they would have thoughts like that. What if I just hit someone with my car? And the way that they would compensate for that would literally be driving around the block for hours, making sure they didn't actually hit anybody with their car. So I have here this is called the OCD cycle. And this is oftentimes how it happens. So first it starts with obsessions. Unwanted, distressing thoughts, urges, mental images may include what if and doubts. So you get those thoughts, they pop in your head. But unlike normal people who might have an intrusive thought and think, that was kind of a fucked up thought, that's weird, I don't know why that was there. It's accompanied by anxiety, maybe distress, fear, worry, or disgust. It's a false alarm, but you feel the need to do something. And then this is accompanied with a compulsion. And it's any behavior performed to help make the anxiety go away, including checking. So for some people, it might be a what if thought. What if I left the stove on? Well, I already checked 3 times, but what if I left the oven on and it's going to burn the whole house down? It's going to be all my fault. And then that what if thought is accompanied by anxiety. And then the compulsion could very well be turning your car around, going back home, and checking to make sure you didn't actually leave the oven on. And the problem, the reason that this cycle is so fucking bad is because when you give in to the compulsion, when you check, right, you have a sense of relief. I feel better knowing that I didn't actually leave the oven on. That's great. But that relief, accompanied by the compulsion, only further reinforces the cycle. So then you have the relief, but it's only temporary, and then obsessions come back even sooner. Because what you're doing here is when you have these obsessive thoughts, and then you have the anxiety, and then you actually do something to ameliorate that anxiety, you're telling your brain that this thought actually could mean something. You're actually inadvertently reinforcing the obsessions. And this cycle, I can tell you right now, as someone who has spent years dealing with OCD, years living through this cycle, it is fucking horrible. So I think you can understand why, like, if I'm dealing with, like, anxiety and OCD and all this shit, and then I hear people like, oh yeah, I'm so OCD. We got to make sure the shelf is clean. Doesn't really help. It's kind of lame, you know? So yeah, this is the OCD cycle. And yeah, like OCD for me was something that it was like I didn't know I had OCD. So when I was younger, for example, I had OCD about going to hell, but I didn't know it was OCD at the time. I just thought I was fucking worried about going to hell. This obsession, the compulsion, the anxiety, all of that is OCD. And it's strange because now that I've gotten a lot better from it, which we're going to talk about that in a second, I realize how much of my life beforehand was actually kind of more or less dominated by OCD. I actually think even partially, I think the fact that getting on medication, I think that that's helped me walk away from the right. I think that that's helped me stop getting into like a conspiratorial mindset, because in a way, OCD is like conspiring against yourself. What if I'm an evil person? What if I am a bad person? You start to not even trust your own thoughts. And so it's really rough the OCD shit. And like I said, for a long time, I didn't even know I was having OCD. I legitimately thought something was wrong with me because I was having intrusive thoughts that I thought were really fucked up, and I didn't know why the hell it was happening. I remember reading one story about somebody who had OCD so bad about demonic possession. It's a really common type also, religious OCD. And for them, they were so terrified that they were going to be possessed, they could barely sleep. Because the OCD was so powerful and that cycle was so powerful. So, how did I get better? How did I break this cycle? How am I okay now? Because there would have been a time where I wouldn't have even been able to have this conversation. That alone would have given me so much anxiety just to talk about it. And there's a lot of different things that I did. And if you're currently someone who is suffering from something like this, I'm not a mental health professional, obviously, but what I did that helped a lot was really make a conscious effort to try and get better. And that's like almost the hardest thing to do, because when you're in this OCD cycle, it's oftentimes accompanied by depression as well. So you're kind of constantly thinking like, I'm a shit person, I'm a bad person. Some people even think that they're literally dangerous. They think they need to, like, stay away from me. I'm dangerous. I might hurt somebody. I don't know what's wrong with me. So I really set my mind to getting better. I learned a lot about what OCD was, since, like I said, I didn't know I even had OCD at first. I just thought there was something wrong with me. And then I later learned that, like, hey, did you know there's like a thing of OCD where like you have like intrusive thoughts, like thoughts that you find to be really abhorrent that like keep coming back in your head. And I was like, wait, that's a thing? That might be what I have. So I self-diagnosed. I actually did like read the symptoms and I was like, it sounds a lot like I have OCD, but I was later diagnosed like with clinical OCD. So yeah, I made a conscious effort to get better, first of all. I also made a really conscious effort to understand OCD and to understand what it looks like, how it manifests, and that helped me understand what I was dealing with a lot more and helped me understand, like, it helped me point out where that problem was. So that was the first thing. Secondly, I saw a therapist for quite a long time, where I was able to talk privately with someone and just talk about what I'm going through. They were able to walk me through and give me really solid advice on how to deal with this OCD. A lot of the stuff I'm talking about actually are things that my therapist told me, including this OCD cycle. That's they introduced me to that. So there's that. And then I also am on like antidepressants, medication. Now, of course, this doesn't work for everybody. And for me, it was like, I made the conscious effort first to get better. I saw a therapist, which I tried really hard to get better with. And then I started taking medication. And now on top of that, I'm married. I have a family. I'm in a much more stable and consistent environment. And I think that that's helped a lot also. But that was a process. I mean, I was dealing with OCD really severely, even during 2019. During 2019, I would be having OCD about, like, what if I have some kind of an illness? What if I'm sick and I don't know I am? What if I'm going to die? What if? It doesn't matter what it would be. And the problem with OCD, too, is that it a lot of the times will jump around. So first, you might, like, have an intrusive thought. Let's say, hypothetically, you have, like, a violent intrusive thought. And then all of a sudden, maybe you do enough compulsions, that kind of seems like it's dying down. That obsessive, intrusive thought will come back as something else. Because it's about breaking the cycle, ultimately. So, a lot of this played a role in me getting better. And again, I want to be very clear here that, of course, I'm not a medical professional. Don't take my advice over the advice of a medical professional. If you currently think you are someone who is suffering from OCD, talk to a therapist, talk to a medical professional, get properly diagnosed. Don't listen to some dumb fuck YouTube streamer and then walk away and be like, okay, yeah, I guess I have OCD and this is what I need to do. No. I'm merely talking about my experience. And like I alluded to earlier, once I got on this medication, that played a major role in helping to bring down this constant like amount of anxiety in my mind. And it helped me think a lot more reasonably and a lot more clear, like a lot clearer. And that's why, like I said, I think that played a role in me leaving the right as well. Because when I looked back, a lot of my positions on the right were ultimately driven by fear and feelings. A lot of the stuff like with trans people and everything else, it came down to these feelings, this fear of trans people, this misunderstanding. And that was very heavily reinforced by this anxious mindset that I had become so used to living in. I didn't even realize the difference that like I could be living in if I was on medication. And getting on medication, even at the time, like for me, like I fought it. I didn't want to get on medication. Whatever. I was an idiot. But now that I've gotten on medication, I've been on medication now for a couple of years, and I don't know, things have really improved quite a lot. So, hey, if you're currently someone dealing with OCD, if you're currently someone dealing with a fuck ton of anxiety, and maybe you just feel like you're a fucking shit-ass person, I just want you to know that it can and it will get better. It absolutely will. But also, if you want to get better, and if you want to get better and stay better, you have to make a conscious effort to get better. You can't simply walk into a therapist's office, pop a pill, and then wake up one day and be better. It's just not how it works. It's a mix of the conscious effort and medical professional help. So yeah, I mean, it's a tough thing to deal with. And like I said, it's something that I always am going to have to deal with. Even now, every now and then I'll be hanging out and boom, an intrusive thought will pop into my head. But rather than that being greeted by like severe anxiety and a compulsion and everything else, I'm a little bit more aware that, hey, this is OCD. I don't need to worry about those thoughts. That's all they are. Unwanted thoughts. And they'll go away. So yeah, that's my experience with OCD and how I got better. What do you guys think? Did I leave out any detail? Yeah. That's my experience with OCD. It's something I've dealt with since I was a little kid. Same times 4, thanks for the $5. Working in retail with OCD sounds like absolute hell, especially dealing with the god-awful customers. That really didn't make anything worse. It was more like I would be like working my job, right? And on the outside, I'm all just like fine and dandy. But then in my head, it was just hell. It was like a war going on in my mind. And yeah, I don't know. It's a really challenging place to be in. Thank you, Furlando, for the $10. Seeing you overcome OCD is super inspiring. I've been psychosomatic for ages, and this pandemic hasn't done me good. Don't forget to take your meds, go to therapy, get enough sleep, and eat healthy. That's good advice also. A lot of the times when you're depressed, it's so easy to just lay in bed all day long. And I've gone through severe depression, okay? I know it. I know the feeling. I know how nice it feels to just lay in bed because it's familiar. There's no nothing that's gonna pop out at you. You don't have to deal with the world. But even though, again, it offers like that temporary relief, laying in bed all day just ultimately contributes more to that depression. Hunter, I have a newfound empathy for people with OCD. Thank you for being honest and open. My dad has legit OCD with sorting trash, so I will be more empathetic. Yeah, it's weird. And yeah, I mean, it's not an excuse. Like, if people are being like actually like shit people, they can't just be like, well, I have OCD, of course. But it is good to try and be empathetic to people who have OCD, because a lot of the times it's like they themselves feel so trapped in this mental cycle. And getting on their case, making fun of them, whatever, obviously that's not going to help. Exercise also helps. Yeah, that's true. That can help also. There are various different things you can do in your life to try and improve your situation with mental health, and particularly with OCD. Bro, can you talk about something else? This is boring. Okay. All right, let's see. But yeah, that's kind of my experience with mental health. Talk about anti-vaxxers? Okay. Hunter, I'm someone who currently suffering from OCD, and your words give me hope. I'm glad I could relate to you, and I'm planning to see a therapist soon, hopefully. Yeah, you know, again, I'm not a doctor. I can't, like, prescribe you medication, but don't be afraid to talk to your doctor about getting on antidepressants. Some help, some don't. Thankfully, I got on Zoloft, and it helped pretty, like, quickly. I started taking it after, like, 2 weeks. I started to notice some pretty significant results. So, yeah. Okay. We're moving on. How's Twitch chat doing over here, huh? Hi, Hunter. Hi. Mental health professionals are hard to come by. You know, there are some apps that you can just do a session right on your phone with a therapist. And if you're dealing with something like OCD and it's like your mental health, you don't necessarily need to be like sitting in the same room as them. All right. Let's go on to our final topic. This is our final topic for the day. So, hey, if you have not already donated to the Super Chat, and if you plan on doing so, now's your chance. Zoloft fucked me up. Yeah, that's why I'm saying I'm not a doctor, okay? Don't take my advice. Don't start popping pills because your dumb favorite YouTube streamer said anything about it. Obviously. I'm just talking about my own personal experience here. Okay. Hunter, why do you only retweet Destiny's worst tweets? I guess we'll just agree to disagree, buddy. So, let's get in to our favorite kind of topic. The series within the series, Posting Like a Prick, where we go over some of the dumbest posts made on social media and laugh at them. Should be fun, right? And believe me, when we're talking about social media, it ain't hard to come by some dumb fuck posts. Let's start with this one from my favorite individual. Oh my goodness, my absolute favorite person, Angie Speaks. Certainly not a LARPer by any means. The so-called radical left has no real radical agenda beyond getting Democrats elected and browbeating everyone into blindly obeying the ideology of progressive capitalism in one form or another. So basically what I'm hearing is we have a bipartisan bill that just made it through the Senate that addresses climate change. that goes over a fuck ton of other, like, really great benefits for Americans. It's the biggest investment in our infrastructure in decades. It's going to be investing in expanding broadband across the country so more people have internet access. But apparently, Angie Speaks doesn't give a shit about any of this because capitalism is bad. This is what fucking LARPers look like, by the way. People that sit on their fat asses all day long, tweeting dumb shit, while while the people slandered as fucking neolibs left and right, are actually getting shit done. All right? But yeah, apparently Angie Speaks doesn't care about all the material benefits that the middle class is going to experience from this policy, from this bill. Nah, not good enough, dude. 'Cause capitalism. Nothing's good enough, apparently, unless we overthrow capitalism. You want to fix climate change? I mean, I do, but not unless it means overthrowing capitalism. Oh my god, I cannot imagine. To make matters worse. Oh, jeez. So we have the Hanks kid. Tom Hanks got COVID, right? And his son over here posting a really interesting video. Let's take a look.
So,
Oops.
just checking in. Look, I've been kind of on the fence about this for a while. That's why I've never spoke on it. But with the amount of people that I know recently that have gotten COVID and with like the numbers rising, I think it's important for me to say, like,
okay,
I got the vaccine. I
This
think
sounds good.
everybody should. I think it's really important, like, that we all do this just as like citizens, as Americans. We have to look out for each other and get this shit
Yeah.
under control. guys.
Unironically, yes.
I suggest to all my followers, you guys set an appointment and get the vaccine first thing. Psych! Bitch! If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I never had COVID. You ain't sticking me with that motherfucking needle.
Okay. So, as we all know, stupidity makes me really fucking mad. And when I hear dumb fucks like this guy spreading anti-vax propaganda to over 400,000 individuals, it makes me a little mad. Especially when the argument against it is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm sorry. Do you realize that you get the vaccine to further strengthen your immune system, to protect yourself against potentially getting COVID? It's not like you get COVID, take the vaccine, and then you're better. It's not a cure. It's a preventative measure.
It's the motherfucking flu. Get over it.
That's also false. It is not the flu. It's more deadly than the flu, and it spreads differently and more rapidly than the flu. So another factually incorrect statement, but I wouldn't expect anything else from these degenerate fucks that are so anti-vax, their head is so up their own ass, they don't even know how to apparently do a simple Google search.
Okay? If you're sick, stay inside. I'm tired of having okay? Why are we working around y'all? If you're in danger, stay your ass inside. I'm tired of wearing a motherfucking mask.
Holy shit, what a snowflake, man. Imagine getting this triggered over putting a little piece of fabric over your face. Also, really? If you don't want to get sick, stay inside. Okay, cool. If you don't want to get hit by a drunk driver, don't drive. That's not how this works. We're a community. We have to work in order, like, we have to work around each other to a degree. Yes, that's how this works. That's how a functioning society works. Take me, for example. Maybe I want to go strolling through Walmart, chilling in my birthday suit. All right? Why do I have to adjust my dress habits just for y'all? If you don't want to see me walking down the street with a giant horse cock, then stay inside, bitch. It's not how this works. We all curtail our behavior because that's how we function as a society. It's not hard to understand.
Hey, guys.
Oh, wait, that was it. Okay, cool. And then he followed it up with an... Oh, wait. Did he delete the other one? Oh, wait. He had another one that he deleted.
Hey, guys.
Okay. Cool. Well, I guess he deleted it. That's good. We're asking you to wear a mask, not a Nickelback shirt. Exactly. Seriously. How hard is it, man? You'd think with a guy that like looks like this, who acts like he's like Mr. Chad Alpha Male over here, you'd think that like putting a piece of cloth over your mouth wouldn't trigger you to this extent, but apparently it does. You heard it from this guy. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, because that's how the vaccines work. Listen, I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. I don't really care anymore. Unless there is a literal health condition that you have that prevents you from taking the vaccine, that if you take the vaccine, you're going to get sick, you're going to be immune compromised, you're going to die. Unless that's the case, or your doctor advises against it. For whatever reason, your doctor knows your medical history on a personal level. Maybe your immune system is compromised for whatever reason. I don't know. Unless that's the case, okay? The very rare exception. Then I see no justified reason not to get this vaccine. Now, I know that people that don't want to get the vaccine are going to have their reasons, but all of their reasons for not getting the vaccine are dumb as shit. These people are unironically contributing to, like, COVID continuing. These people and their dumb fuck, subhuman, selfish behavior are contributing to COVID spreading. We now know that the majority of hospitalizations with COVID are from people who are not vaccinated. It's clear as day that this vaccine is effective. It's not dangerous. Millions upon millions upon millions of people have taken it. We've seen very minimal side effects. If I'm not mistaken, I think you have a higher likelihood of getting struck by lightning than having adverse effects from the vaccine. But yet, dipshit fuckwits like this guy think they can jump up on their fucking Instagram and spiel off a bunch of anti-vax nonsense to a bunch of dipshits. This guy is just as much of a fucking LARPer as the people that are like advocating for guillotining the rich. Actually, no, I take that back. This guy isn't a LARPer because he's actually just dumb enough to not get the vaccine. So yeah, I'll take that back. I would unironically rather have this guy be a LARPer than be this much of a subhuman shitface. Seriously, holy fuck, man. These people are, it's like, if they made a good argument as to why they didn't want to get vaccinated, then maybe I could understand. But when you just say some dumbass bullshit like that, nah, man, I'm not going to be nice to you. Fuck you. And go fuck yourself. Why are we, if anything, why are we curtailing our schedule around you, dumbass? You, if you don't want to get your vaccine, then you can stay home, buddy. God, it really is infuriating. I'm not going to lie. And now, another great post here. Apparently, our favorite, Jesse Lee Peterson, which before anyone accuses me of being racist, I do love black people. Okay, I do. But Jesse Lee Peterson apparently sat down with a bunch of dumb fucks, and I'm not name calling, like they are actually stupid, to talk about and ponder the very serious question, which is, was it a mistake to educate women? I wish I was joking, guys. Oh, I wish I was. I wish that I was hiding behind the memes right now, but sadly, no.
I want to know, was it a big mistake to educate women?
Yeah.
So why was it a big mistake to educate women?
Because look at them. They're already like conceited and think that they know better without that stuff. And by the way, education is like geared towards girls now.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's meant to be like that.
It's a girl.
Okay, so let's just say that it's hilarious that like the question is, was it a mistake to educate women? And this guy's like, yeah, girls are already like kind of arrogant, and like school, it's not really that great, man. People when I was little, they said that school was cool. But nah, I think that it just rhymed. When in reality, school sucks, man. It's like, dude, did you follow your own advice and like not pursue an education yourself, or?
Our education, and it's weak.
They're accusing boys of having ADHD and stuff like that, and they're clamping down on fake bullying and all that mess.
Wait, what? What does boys having ADHD have to do with educating women? Can someone help me here? Is that what happened? We were like, hey, ladies, here's how to read and write. Next thing we know, bam, every man has ADHD. I'm not sure how I'm following. I don't think I'm understanding that one, buddy.
So they're turning boys into girls already.
So not only was it a mistake for women to vote, it was a mistake to let them be educated as well.
Right.
I love it. It was a mistake to let women vote. Listen, the reason they're saying that, right, is because women tend to vote more progressive. Here's a question for these dipshits. If you're unable to get votes, then maybe that's on you. Maybe the solution there shouldn't be to reduce the femoid education, and instead, your goal should be make your policy positions a little more desirable to the general public. Maybe that's the idea there.
You say?
Yeah, it seems like it. Well, I noticed that women are like leading. They're like leading in education, like the teachers. They're like really involved in that world. There seems to be through education allowing all sorts of just craziness, like
education becoming.
I love how like they're saying it was a mistake to educate women while they are so inarticulate. They're not making any arguments. They sound like the uneducated ones.
Ridiculous now.
The globalists want women to be educated.
I know.
Remember that Mahalalala? That one girl?
Mahalalala?
She got shot in the face by some Muslim radicals.
The one thing the globalists want, it's for women to know math. This is such a creepy mindset to have also, you know? This is such a creepy mindset to be in. Like, can you imagine how creepy you have to be like, oh, I want my women to be uneducated, innocent, feeble-minded. Like, what are you, fucking attracted to a 14-year-old? Like, you sound like a creep, dude. Do you just not like it that, like, women are getting smarter than you? Because that's not even a woman thing. I'm pretty sure that I've, like, literally seen turtles that are smarter than these fucks.
La 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 la.
She's like a 13-year-old Muslim girl. She's been 13 for like years. And she got shot in the face because she wanted to be educated. And those Nigerian schoolgirls, never mind that the boys were just massacred year after year.
The worst people know that if we just pump up the ego of the woman, we can turn society upside down.
Yeah. I do know that evil come.
Oh, what would be worse? Women having confidence. Oh, no. It says so much about these guys' mindset that they're intimidated by confident women. Sounds like a little projection, guys. Oof.
Up from hell through the woman.
Mm-hmm.
And Satan knows that, and all his children knows that now, and that's why they're pushing the woman. Mm-hmm. But love comes through the man from above. Chris.
Holy fucking shit. So now not only do the globalists want women to be educated, but the devil himself. It's a satanic ploy to teach women how to read and write.
The man from above. Chris, was it a mistake to educate women in America?
Well, in one sense it was, but I mean it was done on purpose for nefarious reasons. It wasn't a mistake, but yeah, it
was done on purpose with nefarious reasons. How? Help me understand this, please.
It's a massive mistake.
I noticed that everything the women get involved with, it turned to hell. And they act like the women are smart and equal. Women are not smart and they're not equal to men. It's just a reality. We have to bring back the order of God. That's the only thing that's going to work. The men got to take.
Oh my God. Well, you heard it, guys. Everything women are involved in just falls apart. Every time. The irony of these guys being literally sounding like they're mentally challenged is hilarious too. Holy shit, man. Can someone help me understand how we have men existing today, yet their mind seems to be stuck in like 1920? Can someone help me understand that one, please? Oh my God. Stop posting like a prick. All of you. Is that guy okay? No, he's not okay. Look at his fucking chin. I wouldn't be okay either. Comchi 430, thank you for the $2. JLP and Co. would make great Taliban reps. It's quite possible. Yeah, seriously. Like, I find it really ironic, right, when we see people like this. Oh, it was a mistake to educate women. Women should be at the house. Men should be leading. They would have so much in common with radical Muslims. So much in common. It's funny, too, because in this clip, they're crying about, like, the radical Muslims that did this, that, and the other thing. Dude, I think radical Muslims would probably agree. We shouldn't educate women. Women aren't equal, and women shouldn't vote. I'm pretty sure a fucking radical Muslim would agree with that. That's what's so funny is because conservatives, and conservative Christians also, they always cry about Muslims, but they have more in common with them. So yes, I agree with you, chatter. These guys, they would make phenomenal Taliban reps. They would be great ISIS recruits. They would do great over there. Seriously, why don't these guys go over to one of these third world countries? It's the conservative dream over there, apparently, where women are inferior and subordinate to men. Women aren't educated. They're not allowed to vote. They don't have any rights. And then maybe, just maybe, this guy who looks like he crawled out of the fucking no-chin incel meme might actually have some luck, you know? Maybe these soy boy, low testosterone betas can meet some women where maybe they'll have the confidence to meet some women in a place where it's literally illegal for a woman to be confident. There you go, guys. Finally. Jesus. All right. JLP is pretty much the only funny conservative because he's such a parody. He's a meme. That's why. All right. I mean, I kind of wish I could just stick around and play some video games on stream, but I can't because my computer's too shitty. But one day, all right. Guys, I'll stick around for another like 5 minutes or so. If you do want to help support the channel, put anything in the super chat. Now is the time to do it because I'm going to be wrapping up soon. Also, if you haven't already, become a Patreon. Become a patron, dude. We can go and we'll watch movies together. We can pick cringy movies. We can pick funny movies. We can't watch porn, I'm sorry, but we can watch funny movies. All right. Yeah. This was a pretty fun stream. This really was. Hold on. Shit. Solomon just donated $100 motherfucking dollars, sneaking one last dono in. Dude, thank you, Solomon. I appreciate the final donation. I sure hope you didn't mean to type like $1 in. Accidentally double click some zeros there. Because goddamn. Thank you, my dude, for the very generous donation. Holy shit. We got some really generous chatters tonight. And that not only means so much, but it's what keeps the channel rolling. It's what keeps the channel going, man. Hunter, check the Shuon head reply to your tweet. Oh, God, no. Did I already close my Twitter down? I guess I did. Hold on. Oops. Oh, I see. Dude, we're facing like 10 different crises happening right now. All right, let's see. Shuonhead says, dude, we're facing like 10 different crises happening right now. Climate, corona, literally economic inequality has passed the Gilded Age, etc. Just let people punch up on Twitter. LOL, Bezos' feelings won't be hurt. No. Tweet. Bad take. It's not about hurting feelings. It's about playing into radical mindsets. Climate change. Carbon taxes, for example, have been shown to greatly... Bad take. It's not about hurting feelings, it's about playing into radical mindsets. Carbon taxes, for example, have been shown to greatly reduce climate change. This is, by definition, hiding behind the memes. We're better than this. Uh-oh, I went too long. I'll just get rid of bad take then. There's be a little nicer. All right. Also, okay, hold on, I'm going to follow up. Also, I fail to see how being in the middle of a crisis justifies violent and extreme, justifies violent and extremist, I don't want to say mindsets. It just doesn't matter. I'll just forget that one. Yeah, no. This is a bad take show. Sorry. It's not about like whose feelings are hurt. We're talking about not playing into radical mindsets and extremist mindsets. Shoo, there's a difference between punching up and advocating cold-blooded murder. True. There you go. Why don't I message Shoo and head ask if they want to talk? Let me invite them real quick. All right. I'm going to see if Shoo and Head will talk with me for a few. Can we talk? I'm live currently. All right, well, I think I'm going to stick around then on Twitter, I guess. I'm staying live until I at least get a response from Shoo on Head here, because Both sides are bad, I say without elaboration. Oh my god. Holy shit. It's a joke, though. That's the problem. This is literally what I'm talking about. Oh, God. Can you join my Discord? It's a joke, though. I can't see when it's doing it. Oh, boy. Wait, you guys don't literally mean we should be cannibals? He hit the nail on the shoe on head. Ha ha ha. All my tweets shitting on conservatives, and then I just drop a flaming hot take against the left. I don't understand this like obsession with it. Like, I just feel like you can make the same argument with so many other things. All right, I'm gonna stick around here for a couple minutes. I'm watching porn right now. I mean, I know I'm attractive, but goddamn, dude, I wouldn't consider it to be that much. Come on, Shu. Join my Discord. I'm not gonna yell. Oh my god, people are so fucking stupid. Come on, Shu. I'm waiting. I'm live. Alright? I wasn't even planning on staying live, but yet here I am. I'm waiting for you! Just a convo. Not like anything would be like, you know, super mean or anything. I wonder if she will show up. I would like to talk to Shuanhead about this. I really would. Maybe later. I just left to do some errands. I think all jokes are fine. Even the helicopter rides meme the right does. We can make edgy jokes and also care about real practical climate change solutions at the same time. LOL. I mean, fine, but like those edgy memes are contributing to bad shit. All right, we'll talk when you can, Shu. I just don't understand. Oh my god. Hold on, let me go ahead and send this person this thing. Hold on. Someone's like, do you actually think we'll be able to stop climate change with taxes? Yes. Unironically, yes. Okay, yeah. Well, I guess if Shoonhead isn't gonna join, I'm just gonna respond anyway. Because the whole, it's a joke, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Is like, let's say hypothetically that it is completely a joke. Maybe the person that actually posted it was completely kidding. That plays into radical mindsets. That plays into the normalization of violence against people for various different class reasons. When there are real ways that we can be solving problems instead of LARPing about it on Twitter. Okay. Ratioed by Shoe on Head? I'm proud. No, I'm kidding. I didn't even get ratioed. Not yet. Oh, well. Okay, well. Hopefully, Shoe on Head and I can chat about this sometime because I'm not very happy with this hiding behind the memes thing. And yeah, I would be against transphobic memes too because they reinforce bad ideas. It's that simple. All right. Someone posting this ironically and unironically have the same effect? True. All right, guys. I guess I'm going to split.